Hello everybody, we are back for episode 19 of In Full Stride. I'm Carson Gambaro, happy to be joined by one of the newest inductees into the Greater Capital Region Track and Field Cross Country Hall of Fame. I think I got that right, didn't I?
You got it right.
Yeah. I've been researching that for days on end, so kudos to me there, but even bigger kudos to our latest guest, Mia D'Ambrosio, for joining me today. Yeah, it's a hot day at Niskayuna.
It's a hot day.
It is pretty sure it's 80 in October. It's a blessed type of day. We're soaking it all in, though. We're going to talk some track and really put what has been an illustrious and eye-opening career of yours into perspective today. So really glad to have you on.
I'm ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
We're
so ready. Last night, the night before this recording, you had your induction ceremony. How was that?
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see, like, all the athletes. My family came. This one guy had, like, 27 people, and they would all stand up when he was, like, getting inducted. It was insane. But it was really cool to see, you know, kind of Section 2 kind of come together and support one another. So it was really special.
I saw you had your own induction plaque. You had your photo on the wall. You had your family there. That was just so cool. And to just be part of generations of athletes that when you were competing, you probably didn't have much of an idea existed to that degree. So what did that say to the track star that exists within you?
It was really special, honestly, because like you said, like I feel like we're not made aware of it, of like that was even a thing. I think they've only been doing it for 8 years.
Yeah.
So I honestly had no idea, because when like Coach Ashley Gansel, she's the one that nominated me, when she reached out to me, I was like, for the what? Like, I think my mom had an idea of what it was, but it was really cool and kind of just, you know, cap off the end of my career, which has been great.
Yeah. The end of your career came, I would imagine, rather abruptly. You were just starting off in college at NC State. You're repping the Wolfpack right now. You had come off of a state championship winning season with Schalmont indoors in the 55, and you were poised for success. But what ultimately ended up coming your way with the injuries and everything?
So it was a lot. I feel like the first 2 years were pretty rocky, honestly. You know, I like started freshman year in the middle of COVID. So it's like all of those challenges and everything that came with it, especially like being far from home was a challenge. And then kind of like battling, like, I knew something was wrong freshman year. I was like, my back's hurting, you know, like something's not right. And then finally sophomore year, did the x-ray, didn't show a lot, did an MRI, and then the injury kind of happened. And the bizarre thing is you were still putting up, I would imagine, decent numbers by your standards those years, but even then, did you feel some of that discomfort while that was happening? Oh, yeah. I think even just, because NC State's campus is so big, so I'm walking a lot, and even just walking from my dorm to the track, which is probably like a half mile, I was like getting like really bad lower back pain. I was getting sciatica, and I was like, I'm not 80 years old. Like, why is this happening?
That's longer than we sprinters race.
Yes.
So what's up with that?
Yeah, and so I would just kind of run on it. I was like, it's fine. Like, I was going to treatment, and nobody really thought anything horrible of it, which I wish it got like looked at a little bit sooner. But I mean, I can't control that now. It's all just hindsight thinking, right? Yeah. So I feel like in some, like when I would race, I mean, it was kind of just like a before and after kind of like irritation, but I could tell as I was running, like my mechanics were off, and I did notice that. And over time, as that persisted, did the decision just grow heavier and heavier on your conscience to eventually come to that crossroads where you'd have to make a decision on the future of your running career? Yeah, so I would say between sophomore and junior year, because I ended up going home the rest of my sophomore year after I found out about my injury and stuff. That was just the best decision for me. And I couldn't finish a warm-up like that summer. Oh my. Because of like how bad it hurt. And so I went back. They did the MRI. I tried PT like all junior year, and because I wanted to give myself enough, like, I wanted to attempt. I didn't want to have a regret of not even trying to go back to the sport that I've done for 10 years and just kind of cold turkey it. So I was like, I'm going to rehab and see what happens. And then I feel like at the end of the day, I was just like, it's my lower back, it's serious, and I'm not playing around with it, and I'm not going to try and compete at the level that I was at and even higher than that when, I mean, it could get worse. Yeah. So. And just
sidetrack the rest of your life or just put cast an even bigger shadow over that. I mean, that's got to be so tough because you'd been a sprinter for years and years and years on end, and to imagine a world where you're not doing something that probably feels the same as breathing to you. Just what was that fear like?
It was a big fear. I would say when I found out about my injury, I had my appointment and the next day I came home. And it really threw me into like a backward spiral of like...
Pun intended?
No, literally, yes. And it's like an identity crisis of like, oh my God, like who am I without this sport? I've never imagined that it would happen now. You know, it was always something that like, okay, down the road, you know, it's going to come to an end eventually, but I never knew it was going to be right then, and that's the reason. Yeah. Because of an injury. It
was like, you've been told by all these people when you commit to this Division I school, oh, the best is yet to come, and then you get to this point before the best arrives.
Yes.
But how did you keep searching for what that best ultimately became beyond your running career once you had to give it up?
That is such a good question. I feel like just having so much support around me and kind of being able to talk about all of my options too, and like talking to trainers, talking to my coach, my junior year, Coach Ruben McCoy, he came in and he was, oh my God, he was the best. Like, he just sat with me and he didn't even train me not once. Like, he would just like sit there and we would talk about it and anything else that was bothering me. And I just kind of came, you know, like a God-given peace was over me and like, this is the right decision and like, there's something else in store and we have to close that chapter and keep going.
What other things have you found in store in wake of all of the firestorm that happened during college?
So I'm getting my master's right now.
Ooh,
yeah, so in December, I'll have my master's in nutrition, and then I'll go on to be a registered dietitian. Fingers crossed that I pass my test first try. It's a pretty hard test, so they say. But even just that whole journey of like finding the right master's program and getting all of my rotation sites, like I've seen God's hand in that. Everything has been so smooth sailing and just, it is incredible. Like I'm like, okay, like this is where I'm supposed to be right now. And like, this is the season of life I'm walking in. And that's something that like, some people are like, how did you find a site? And how did you find someone to like, do your internship with? And I'm just like, it wasn't me, it was God. Because I'm like, it just was so easy.
And how nice is it to know that, or just more so about the contrast, right, about this state of comfort that you found yourself in where you know the Lord can guide you in the right direction versus where you were faced with that question of who am I, where do I belong? What's the contrast like, would you say?
I mean, 10th grade, or not 10th grade, that would be crazy.
Sophomore year of college?
Sophomore year of college.
Super 10th.
It was a battle at first, honestly. Like, it was a mental battle of coming home, and I was really depressed, and I was facing a lot of anxiety and panic attacks, and I just would sit with the Lord every single morning and was just like, I need to get through today.
Yeah.
And so I think just like constantly doing that, and like, yes, there's been times where like I'll go backwards and forward, you know, it's not just like a straight path. But I think just like really dwelling in that and being like, okay, like whatever your purpose is, like I'm not trying to take control of that anymore.
Yeah. It's so tempting when we're in a sport that is so individually based to do what we think is best. I'm a self-coached athlete. I've been doing what I've thought is best for 7 years now. Obviously, some of that's been good. Some of that's been not so good. It's had its learning lessons. It's had all of the ups and downs you can imagine. But sometimes it's always good to just let yourself receive help. I feel like that's the best way I think I can put it. I mean, example, last night I was literally at a wedding with my band. This is unrelated to running, but I'm a trumpet player, but sometimes I'll sing a few songs. I actually found out that we were at the same wedding earlier this summer where I sang Lazy Mary by Lumonte. If you want to see... I was singing the father-daughter dance, and I literally forgot some of the very first words in the song. I was offered before I started singing by our female lead singer. She was like, oh, you want me to pull up the lyrics for you? I was like, nah, I got it. I chose to do me. That was out of self-ego.
Like,
and I just realized, what would I have sacrificed by just accepting that help?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just so great that we can find ourselves in positions through those tough times where we know how to keep our eyes open for those blessings that lie behind every corner. What are some of the other blessings that you found in your life now as you're on your way to becoming an RD?
I feel like just the relationships that I've built. I think if I was still in my sport through the rest of my college, like, career, I think I would have missed out on a lot of, like, friendships that I still, like, keep in touch with those friends. And I don't think I would have done that if I was so busy at practice and traveling every weekend. Like, I met some really great girls, like, in just my nutrition program undergrad. And I think, like, and those are friendships that I, you know, am very thankful for and kind of help me, like, guide me, and they're very supportive of me. And I think, like, even that, and just, like, getting plugged in at a church down there and having just a great group of girls, like, that would meet every week and talk about, like, all that the Lord's doing in their life, like, that was something that really sustained me and grounded me, like, every single week. And I think, like, if I was still competing, like, I wouldn't have time for that.
Right. I mean, I'm sure you had at least some of that as a base while you were competing, but I'd imagine it had to have just opened your perspective on it all once you got the chance to really devote yourself to it.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, I'm living my best NARP life.
The life that you were called to live, I suppose.
Yes, yes.
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I guess. I feel like I always see athletes and they're like, today I'm taking a NARP day and I'm going to act like a NARP.
What even is that?
A non-athletic regular person.
Okay. I learned something new today. I guess that's been another way. I think that's how I'll describe my post-athletics career, although I kind of like unretired better. I'm a football fan. I like to think of myself as the Brett Favre of track and field, even though my time is nowhere comparable to a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but, you know, what can I say there? I mean, considering where you were, though, your sprint times, I'd never broken 12 in the 100. You did. I didn't run a whole lot of hundreds, albeit, but, you know, you could probably cook me in a 200.
You don't want to race? We could race. I would die, but...
Pre-injury, this would be a different story right here. I never had to deal with half of the stuff that she had to deal with, so yeah, it's not exactly what you'd call a fair advantage or playing field.
I could give you, like, a head start. Another time.
But again, just putting into greater leverage the position that you achieved through all the hard work that you had done. And, you know, are there any triggers perhaps in the back of your mind that do you ever want to revisit that sprinting era of yours?
I do feel like even just going and supporting, like, some high school athletes that I help along the way, like, from Schalmont, just, you know, going to meets, like, you know, it's like a bittersweet feeling. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I could get out there and, like, compete. But I know, like, I do have limitations. But, you know, every once in a while I'll, like, go to the track. I might regret the workout that I did because I might, like, be a little bit hurting. But there is always, I think every athlete, like, there's always going to be a desire that, like, we are able to do what our bodies could do. But it's also just, like, not realistic either. But I think there's always that longing.
I can relate to that a lot because I remember the first year after I competed in high school, I didn't compete in college. And when we had a guy, I don't know if you know Dan Sheehan, I've talked about him a little bit. He was one of my mentors. His daughter Faith went to Liberty.
Okay,
Faith Sheehan.
Yes.
She was in my graduating class, but he would be our Warrior publicity manager back at Stillwater.
Goodness.
She's a Schalmont Sabre. I'm a Stillwater Warrior, but he would be our publicity manager. And he would always live stream our races from the Armory whenever my teammates would be racing. And I'd get adrenaline watching that stuff. And I just wanted to get back out there so bad. But obviously I had to keep taking time away from the sport before I came back to it in the best way possible. How have you found your way back to the sport?
I would say the first, like, couple, maybe, like, the first kind of year, it was a challenge. I feel like I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go for a run, like, see how it is, and I would honestly, like, end my run crying because I was like, this is sad, like, I'm not where I used to be. And so it took me a while to kind of, like, fall back in love with running. And so it's honestly been a pretty cool journey of, like, kind of, like, you know, I mean, I'm not going out and running like 5 miles, but like even a mile, 2 miles is great for me.
Yeah.
But even that, I'm like, oh my God, my body can do that.
Yeah.
And so I think like I kind of try to stay away from running for like the first couple months, and then kind of would add it in once in a while until it was enjoyable again. And it definitely is like hit or miss some days.
You know, these past few years, I think that's been one of the biggest game changers for me, because as a sprinter, I used to be like, oh man, I shouldn't be doing easy runs or whatever, because then that's going to train the things that I don't want to train. But I just started doing them purely based on feel. I don't even think I own a watch to run with.
Yeah.
Whenever I do track workauts, I literally time them with my phone.
No, I just became a Garmin girl.
I was going to say, do you usually do your easy runs with the watch?
I was like, is the distance girl's going to recruit me? I was like, am I looking like a distance runner?
Coach
but
Dennis?
I honestly, shout out to Garmin. They make a killer watch.
Yeah, I think
it does a lot of things.
I think I know where I'm getting my first watch. Anyways, but yeah, do you normally do your easy runs with the watch?
I honestly do. I love it. I wear it every single day.
Okay, so at least now you have a way to set new goals for yourself, I suppose. Another way that I like to look at it without running without a watch, at least for me, it's just you get to run purely based on feel.
Yeah.
Like there are days where I'll do shakeouts where I'll just start running. Maybe I ate a little bit too recently, and I'll just literally just go at snail mail pace. Yeah. But even that is still good enough for me with the comfort that I've achieved with not having to hit my standards every single day. And it's just a complete, it's a great place to be in, I think. And would you say you're at that place right now, or do you still have perhaps some distance between you and that place? Because I'd say, as much as I'd like to think that of myself, that distance definitely still exists.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of like an urge to sprint,
or just in terms of your standards of where you want to be from a fitness perspective, because it's more than running.
I feel like right now I'm like pretty at peace. It is a hard like mentality switch of like, okay, I don't need to work out every single day, and I don't need to like do a total of 2 miles if I'm doing a sprint workout. Like my body isn't used to that anymore. So I honestly think like if I can get something in, whether it's a walk, like I think like as long as I'm doing something and I'm moving my body, like I've been pretty good at kind of managing that. But I do get an urge every once in a while to be like, I'm gonna go to the track and I'm gonna run like 8,200, which like never ever happens.
Yeah, no.
I feel like there's like an adrenaline of like, oh my god, like I want to do that, and then I want to see if I can do that.
Right.
And then I'm like, I think I could, but I'd be a snail.
I can definitely sense some of that distance still there on that front, like you said, worrying about, if I'm not getting this workout on this particular day. And there are some cases where realistically that is the case for me. Like if I have a work trip for a weekend, and if I'm not going to have access to the gym or equipment or track facilities that I'm going to need for what I am looking to do, then I'm probably going to need to make the time for the workout if I really care about those goals. But there's other days where I think I've just found simple things to do, if it's so much as just walking around the house even.
Yeah, just moving. Honestly, I'm just like, I need a brain break, and like whether I walk or run, like I feel like it just kind of helps clear my mind. So I've been kind of looking at it as more of like a therapeutic thing. But I will say, like, if I am going to the track and I'm trying to do more of like a sprint based workout, I'll time it out of like curiosity.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm kind of like, ooh, like I feel like I kind of got it in me a little bit still.
That's where the temptation comes in.
And then there's other times where like I'll run a 200, and let's say I run it in like 38 seconds, and I'm doing like repeats, and I'm like, but sometimes it kind of makes me realize like, wow, like the body is like a powerful thing. Like the fact that I was able to run repeat 200s at like below 30, like that's insane to me.
Yeah, right.
So it honestly makes me like appreciate how God created me and like what I can do.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
And really just also giving us our senses of peace, like with just physical activity. Do you have any other sources of peace that have just kept you happy and free?
Like of working out peace or anything?
Life
peace? Honestly, just like spending, I have a 2-month-old niece. Yeah. And so I love spending time with them and my family. It's nice to like be back home and be around everyone. So that brings me a lot of peace. But kind of just like spending time with people.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's my peace.
Are you at peace right now?
I'm at peace right now.
Mission accomplished.
I love chatting.
Oh, man. This is a great episode. Hope you guys are enjoying. Leave a like and comment down below your thoughts if you are. We're going to keep chatting for a few more minutes.
Yes.
I want to know more, though, because you've talked a lot about your interest in becoming a registered dietitian.
Yeah.
You know, where do you derive your passion for nutrition? Because obviously that ties in a lot with the sport, but what say you?
I think it's fine.
Blooper.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Oops.
I feel like in 10th grade,
Real 10th grade?
in real 10th grade, not,
Yes.
sophomore year of high school.
We believe in second chances.
Yes, that is when I first became interested in nutrition, because I would eat a salad at lunch and then I would go to track practice and be puking on the side because I was underfueled. And my coach would be like, well, you can't come eat a cucumber and expect to train. And I was like, why not? I'm having a salad, I'm healthy. And so I feel like that kind of got me interested of okay, what do I need to get every single day, and what is going to be best to have before a meet, before a practice, after. So I feel like that kind of sparked that interest of nutrition, and I kind of just took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
So
do you have any favorite meals to prep or something? Because I think I saw you have your own food page now.
I do have a food page, Each Bite with Mia. Go and follow. I post some fun recipes. They're not all dietitian approved, but it's
still byproducts of your own curiosity that stem from that moment.
Exactly. And they're healthy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll throw in a dessert or two in there.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You need that.
And that's another element of peace where you can remind yourself, even if I eat something that I am told by my inner devil that I'm not supposed to, it's okay. Just eat right the next
in
meal.
Moderation.
Yeah.
That's what I preach.
Yeah. And it's same with working out. It's same with almost any dedication of passion. I assume you'd agree with classes and even with pursuing your relationship with our great Savior. But, life, there's just so much to it. And I think just having those reminders to be grateful of. I always sometimes feel like I become that over-apologetic or over grateful person, but really, there's no shame in that either.
No, there isn't. There really isn't.
And that's the best place to be, I think, with where you're at in your career, because, again, you could just think of all the accolades that I specifically or non-specifically listed, and you could think of all the what coulds have been, but then you could look at what happened and just smile.
I always say, my injury and everything in between, and all the mistakes I've made and all the decisions that I probably weren't best, it is a blessing in disguise. And I feel like I've seen so many blessings come out of all of this. And at the time I didn't. At the time I was like, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. But now looking back, I'm like, that's the best thing that could have happened, honestly.
Yeah. And here we are. You are a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
And do you have anything else that you'd like to cover today while we have you here on this bright and sunny day?
Honestly, whatever else you have for me. I said to Carson, I said, I'm an open book. I will share anything.
That's why I brought on the
it's
show.
a pro and a con. So.
Yeah. But hey, that gave me an idea. We're sitting out here on a nice hot sunny day. It might be October, but let's say if this were a normal month for this to be the temperature, where in the world would you most want to be?
I would want to be in Europe somewhere.
Somewhere in Europe?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I want to go to Greece.
Greece, okay.
I feel like that could be so. I'm want to live a mom and Mia life.
Yeah.
Because that sounds fun.
Yeah.
But honestly, just somewhere with a beach or a pool, somewhere I can lay out and tan and roast and eat some good food.
I'm just thinking about all those aesthetic pictures of Santorini.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a lot of those white and blue Orthodox churches. So yeah, might have to flip-flop the wardrobe a little bit to match the color scheme there. Yeah. But hey, that's why the future exists.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Europe. I've never actually been to Europe. I did leave the continent for the first time to Bermuda for a cross-country meet a couple years ago.
God.
And that was pretty darn cool.
That's fun.
Even
I've been to the Bahamas.
3-day trip.
But that was the only time I've been out of the country.
So you're telling me I've been to Canada and you haven't?
No, I literally haven't been to Canada.
Okay.
I did have one of my teammates say, you've never been to Canada and you live in upstate New York? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I can't. There's nothing I can do.
I apologize for the grave inconvenience that has caused
Sorry,
you,
Canadians.
Right? Yeah, because again, that over apologeticness, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
whatever.
like, it's far.
Just let us slide.
I'm like, it's 5 hours away.
They could do without us.
Yeah, I'm like, they don't need me. I do want to go to Niagara Falls. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I haven't been there either.
See, I've been wanting to go since like 2nd grade.
You know, it's like all the times that my friends will ask me, "Have you seen this movie? Have you seen this show?"
Like,
and I'm
never
like,
heard of it.
"Oh yeah, I remember that part." When I actually don't remember it at all. I'm
so
just
bad
kind of
with all of like movie names, actors.
drop
names.
the
like,
movie buff act. You know,
my
it's
sister
okay.
knows like all of it.
They're your friends at the end of the day.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I may be going to Italy next year. I'm not
Oh my
completely
God.
positive yet. It may be this time next year. Still got a lot of planning to do. My mom
That'll be
wants me
fun.
to really study up on the regions more so we can actually take an informed family vacation.
Okay, true.
Have you ever studied Italian? I'm curious.
No.
Oh,
I've
man.
done like my Duolingo. Doesn't count though. But I have
It
like
can count if you wanted to.
I have like all of my sisters are annoyed that my dad has never taught us because his parents are born and raised in Italy. They came when my aunt, who's in her 60s, she lived there till she was 5, and then they moved to America. And they grew up in an Italian-speaking home, and he never taught us.
Wait,
I
so
think all we know is swear words.
the first generation only taught you the important stuff.
Yes. Or they'll have me repeat stuff, and then it's like, you know, something that's not very nice to say to someone. And I'm like 8, and I'm just going around saying it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the majority of Italian that my father Tony shared with us.
They think it's funny.
Yeah, all the Italian that I've learned has been from a college class or two.
I know.
And
I do want to learn.
my good old libro in my room.
Yeah.
So,
And the song you have memorized. You could just go around singing that in Italy.
do not make me sing that on this show. That might have to be our
He
100th.
should.
That might have to be our 100th episode special.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
if you like get so many likes, you should do it that way.
All right. Cento piace challenge. How about that?
Whatever that means.
It's 100. Well, I don't think piace means like as a noun because it actually is derived from the verb piacere, which means to please. See, when you say molto piacere, that means nice to meet you. When you say mi piace, that means I like.
Okay.
It all involves pleasure. The Italians don't really regard the idea of a like the same way that we
That makes
English
sense,
Americans
though.
do. But they're just better than us in just about every single way.
They're
so
just better.
let's just let them be that way.
Yeah.
Would you like to close us off with your favorite Italian dish?
My favorite Italian dish? Oh my goodness.
Hardest question of all.
That is the hardest question of all. Because I'm like, I could have a favorite chicken dish, a favorite pasta dish.
Or you could be like me and just say pizza, pizza, pizza.
Honestly, pizza is always a good one.
Yeah.
I do love just like a gnocchi with like maybe like a vodka. I do love vodka sauce.
Yeah.
So like any type
Always.
of. I do like pappardelle pasta. I don't know. Like I feel like my dad, it's a controversial debate in our house. Like he doesn't like it really, but like that's like my favorite.
You make it homemade?
Sometimes we have started to make it more and more homemade. I've done like gnocchi homemade. We've done ravioli. So honestly, any pasta, I'm a fan.
Yeah. What restaurants here? Because I feel like I'm always in need of new recommendations. What restaurants are probably the best to go seek out some of those great recipes?
To go seek out. My grandfather's house.
Is that that's
no?
a
I'm just
restaurant?
saying like my daughter's house. Like just like pull up to his house, he'll
should've
cook you
known.
something.
Yeah.
There is Miss Sophia's, which is in Clifton Park, and they're actually based out of Brooklyn.
Oh.
Or like Little Italy and like Soho area.
Yeah.
And honestly, it just kind of sits there, and like I feel like no one really knows about it. I think it's only been open for like a year or so.
I know I didn't know about it until I
No,
asked
it's
you.
honestly pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good. And just kind of any like little small Italian place like Capri or Parecca's. Like I love going there and just getting like a nice Italian sandwich.
Yeah, and you get to support small business while you're doing it. It's
and they
great.
have the pizza there. Have you ever had their pizza?
Where?
At like Parecca's?
Oh, I don't even know if I've been there.
Oh my god, you have to go.
Okay.
You have to go.
All right.
They have a pizza and it's just like sauce with like garlic on it and just like grated cheese.
Okay.
Which sometimes
listening.
I'm not like a huge fan of grated cheese pizza.
Yeah.
But it
has its
good.
times and
it's
places.
just like nice and crispy.
Okay. I will make note of that.
Make note of
All
it.
of you upstate locals or future upstate travelers, please make note of that. And please be sure to leave some positive notes for Mia so that she can continue and pursue all her life goals and dreams in full stride, right?
In full stride, everybody.
Had to make the pun before we closed out this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye, everyone.